Hello quilty friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and I make videos about quilting and my creative life. And today is the launch of the brand new Tilda collection called Songbird. It's an absolutely beautiful collection with really nice, soft, dreamy pastel colours. Now this collection was very kindly sent to me by the sewing studio for me to have a little bit of a play with the fabric before the general release. The sewing studio is a family run business down in Cornwall in the UK, but they do offer a postal service and they've got over 40 years experience in the sewing industry. I've shopped with them many times in the past and let me tell you, their dispatch time is excellent. Not only do they have a fabulous range of Tilda fabric, they've got so many different fabric and sewing machine options, so I'll leave all of the links to their shop down in the description box if you want to have a browse and treat yourself. But as if one challenging Tilda project wasn't enough for me in the last 12 months, I've decided to do another of Tilda's patterns. If you followed my channel, you'll know that I recently made the Tilda campervan quilt. It was my first Tilda pattern that I'd ever made. All of her patterns are free of charge, they're all on our website. I'll leave a link to it in the video description, including the new ones. But when I started the campervan quilt, I didn't realise, I think it was like an advanced pattern or like 2 out of 3 stars. I think this one could be 3 out of 3 stars. It's not, I don't think this pattern is too complicated. I'm only making the cushion cover. It's not too complicated, it's just that the pattern is very low on instructions. It's sort of a bit of a puzzle. There's no hand holding like you would expect with some patterns. But anyway, let me show you what I've been making. I've been making the soiree cushion. And this is what I've made so far. There's 2 ladies on the cushion and they're looking towards each other. So I need to do the opposite one, which when I was doing the campervan quilt was always really confusing because in the instructions, it's just the directions for one way. You then need to use your brain to figure out the reverse. Which if you've watched the channel for some time, you'll know that that is a struggle. So yes, that's what we've got so far. In the pattern, she's got a bun here, I think. Oh no, that's a bun. She's got something on her hair there, a circle, and then you put a button in there. I haven't done the circle yet because there's no circle template provided in the pattern. So, and I haven't got a protractor, or is it a compass? I haven't got the one that draws a circle, so I need to draw one on the computer and then print it off. It's all fun and games. I would say if you're up for a challenge and you're confident, give the Tilda patterns a go. They're always beautiful. They usually release some that are like a mixture of skill level, but you can always get beautiful patterns and they're all free. I think if you was to buy a pattern like this, you would probably expect it to be foundation paper piece, so it is a really good challenge, and I tell you what, it will give you so much confidence when you do it. My biggest tip is to starch your fabrics. Since I've started starching my fabrics, I do find I get a better result. Everyone was right. So let me show you the beautiful fabrics that are in the Tilda Songbird collection, and hopefully during this video there'll be a couple of projects using them. I have got something in mind to make a matching quilt for this pillow. It's not quite matching, but it's with the same fabrics. So yeah, I'm thinking about making a quilt. I don't want to embark on the full Tilda quilt, I don't think. But then again, I don't know. I did actually quite enjoy making this. I wonder if the quilt pattern, the ladies are a larger size. It's very tempting. Now most of the piecing in the pattern is snowboard corners, but then kind of like snowboard rectangles where you make a longer triangle piece. What I'll do is I'll leave the link to where I made the tutorial for the campervan quilt block, because it will show you how to do the corners that she features in the pattern. The pattern, you can go through it step by step and you will get there, but if you want a video breakdown, I'll leave the link to the campervan quilt. So these are the 2 pieces that we need to make the nose. So they are really tiny, and I just use these stickers. So with a little bit of sandpaper to stop the fabric slipping, I'm just going to mark where the pattern tells me to, which is 1/4 inch on opposite edges. And then you draw a line connecting those two. Not only do I connect the dots, I go past the dots because you're going to start sewing here, not here. So you want the line to help you get to the 1/4 inch point. And then following the pattern, we need to mark some lines to use as reference. So I like to use a heat erasable pen because then you can always, if you accidentally see some of the lines on the front, you'll just be able to heat erase them. Oh, didn't mark very well. A pencil does mark easier. And then what you need to do, again, just paying attention, the pattern shows you which way to position it. If you're not careful, you could position it this way. Would that still work? That would still work, but some of them don't work if you get it the wrong way up. So I put my pin in there and put my pin in that end, and I'll try and make sure that this is roughly where you want it to be so you're not warping the fabric. Pin directly through both of the layers and then just repeat the same on the bottom point. So just put your pin in and see where you are first of all, and then just finding where it matches on the bottom, and then just sew very slightly to the left hand side of the line. And then with any luck, when you fold that back, it will pretty much meet the fabric underneath. So don't cut away until you've folded it back and you can see whether you've achieved an accurate angle there, which I have. And I always just trim with scissors. And there we go. So that is the nose. Oh no, I've actually done that wrong. And now I've cut it. The nose is on the wrong way. I followed the instructions on the pattern for the nose facing the left, and her nose should be there. This is why the patterns are so confusing. Oh my god, I'm going to have to cut that piece again. So last night I pretty much managed to finish the front of the cushion. And here we go. This is what we're looking like. I think I've actually decided not to put the circle on the hair. I really like the hair like that. It looks really nice. I think it's designed to be a decoration on the hair, but I just really like it with the bun as it is. So I haven't put the eyes on yet. I think I'll put the eyes on after I've quilted it. So that is the next step. Get this sandwiched up and get it quilted. I'm just going to do it in a tan colour and just do a cross hatch probably throughout the quilt. The mini quilt, I guess. It is a mini quilt at this stage, isn't it? And I'll use the same yellow as the backing of the cushion and just stitch the back of the cushion exactly the same as well. When I'm doing cushions, it's a great opportunity to use up any offcuts of wadding. All of these thin bits that you end up trimming off at the edge of the quilt, that I don't think is going to be wide enough. It's not wide enough by about 2 inch. But what I also like to do is, depending on what size strips you've got, I use this heat press batting together sticky thing. So that's what the label looks like. I bought that from Oak Apple Haberdashery, and it's essentially just like a little bit of, you know, Bondi web that you stick your trousers up with. It's just ever such a thin strip, and I'll show you how I use it. So I'm short by a couple of inch, so I've got a piece here. We'll take away the patchwork. Then all you want to do is lay them next to each other. If you can get it to have a nice clean edge, you know, one that's preferably not hacked. That's generally how I cut my wadding. So lay it together, butt it up on top of each other. Try not to overlap, but just squeeze it together. And then just pop a piece of this all the way down that seam. It's not sticky or anything at this stage. And then you just press it with your iron. So I haven't got any steam on this iron, but I don't think that affects it too much. And I did this when I've done a whole quilt and I couldn't even tell that it was there. I don't bother adhering it to the back, but there we go. That's stuck nicely, and then when you quilt over it, it will just doubly secure the wadding as well. Now I'm sorry that it's such an overcast and shadowy day. It's just one of those days today. It's a winter's day where being in the sewing room is just the best thing you can do. So there we go. Now I've got a piece of wadding that is the perfect size. I can get that basted up and quilted up. So I've just completely stitched around the edge. I've installed a zip on the cushion, and typical me, I've done that thing where you leave the zip all the way over at the edge, so it's worked its way over quite easily just with my thumb. So let's turn the cushion inside out and I'll chat to you about my plans for the rest of the fabric, because I know I said yesterday that I've got a quilt in mind. And I still have, but overnight I've had a little word with myself and reminded myself of my goals for this year. And I did also tell myself that I don't want to overcommit to making too many quilts and then getting burnt out. I'm on a little bit of a kick at the moment of finishing things, but also making small projects. They're so satisfying and it gives you such a good sense of achievement. Just need something to poke these corners through. So yes, I've reminded myself that it doesn't have to be a quilt just because I've got enough fabric to be a quilt. I quite like scrappy quilts, you know, even though I've got some fabric left, I can use bits and bobs here and there. I'll show you the quilt that I had in mind, show you the pattern and things. I do think it would go really nicely with the fabric, but I've decided to do some broderie purse. I always want to call it purse, essentially applique, where you cut out bits of your fabric. So what you do is you cut out elements of the fabric like pictures, and on this fabric there's a beautiful fairy that's holding a, what's she holding? A dragonfly. And it's a really nice image, and then you build another image out of what you've cut out of fabric. I've been going down a rabbit hole and seeing these things all over my Instagram feed, but I will of course make a full video on it so that you can see. But no, by no means am I an expert. This will be my first time doing it, but I looked at them and I thought, oh, I really like that image cut out and isolated on its own, and then there was some other flowers and other imagery in the fabric that I really like. So yes, there will be a video coming on that in a couple of weeks, but keep your eye on my Instagram. But here is the cushion. I'm actually in two minds as to whether or not to even put the eyes on. I don't want to ruin it. Do you remember when I made that teddy bear and I made her a bit cockeyed? So I don't want that to happen, and I quite like the subtlety of it. I need to iron it so all the edges are out, but I quite like how subtle the design is. And this is going to my stepmom, and she really likes light colours like this, not a lot of contrast, so I think she will like this. I also need to get a cushion, so I won't end the video before I show it you with an insert. Here is the pattern that I had picked out. So this is King's Cross by Missouri Star, and you make this pattern with their rhombus ruler. There are a few patterns that you can make with this ruler, so it's not just a ruler that you buy for one application only. I've got another pattern that uses it. But essentially it's diamonds, and I just thought that would go really nicely with the Art Deco vibes of the quilt. I like the quilt here where that would fill out the whole of the quilt, but if you look on the back you actually have these extra rows to the side, and I had decided that when I would make it I would bring the border down to essentially this would be the top of the quilt and you would just cut it off, just because I didn't like those extra row of the diamonds top and bottom. So yes, I am reminding myself of the things that I want to do this year, and it's always small projects. I love small projects, so I ought to stick to that and not get carried away, overcommit and overstretch myself. That should be my motto for 2026. What do you think? Do you like the cushion? I think it would be really nice to redo it in really bright fabric. give them like a blue rinse and a purple rinse, and then just bright fabrics. Do you know what a blue rinse is in other countries? Or is that just a British thing? Yeah, I really like that. I think I do need to remake it in brighter colours. Shall I have a go at just one? And I did put a zip in the bottom, and it's kind of concealed, kind of not. I didn't do it as well as I have done in the past, but I'll leave a video tutorial to a lady that I always watch for her zips on the bottom. I'm tempted to make it now in bright colours. Now, as promised, the cushion cover is finished. I've got an insert. So the cushion finished at 18 inch, and I think I bought a 20.5 inch insert. Because it can never be too full, really, can it? Can you see all of my other projects in the background? Your eyes aren't deceiving you. That is the finished Alice Caroline quilt hanging up there. So that'll be a video in a couple of weeks. I'm just going to work on getting it basted before I do that. And a little sewing machine mini quilt that's hanging there on the ironing board. I did decide not to put the eyes on. Didn't want to ruin it, and like I said, I still want it to be nice and subtle. So nice and plump. And then you got to give it a good whack, haven't you, when you put the cushion in? So there we go. I absolutely love that. And hopefully my stepmom will as well. I'm pretty sure she will. She's a really grateful gifter. I could have swore I recorded the outro for this video, but I think I must have deleted the file. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you back here next week for a little bit of playing and seeing what else we can do with this fabric. I hope you have a wonderful week, and you take care.